The Conservative MP defended her meeting with Michel Barnier and claimed that the British people want politicians to have a discussion around Brexit. Ms Soubry joined Chuka Umunna to lead an alliance of cross-party MPs to meet the EU's chief Brexit negotiator this week. Speaking on BBC's Daily Politics, host Jo Coburn quizzed the MP about her showdown meeting. Ms Soubry said, "We were having a very good discussion, which is what the British people want to hear about." BBC-Brexit News' Anna Soubry was asked if she was betraying Brexit to voters by meeting Michel Barnier. The BBC presenter then asked if the cross-party group was betraying those who voted Leave. Ms Soubry snapped back at the remark, insisting that she wasn't interested in playing this game of politics. When the host asked the same questions again, Ms Soubry reiterated that she would not answer that question. Coburn said, "It's not a game of politics when you said the government has tied its hands with its red lines. It's not a game of politics when you said the government has tied its hands with its red lines." Jo Coburn: "You disagree, but are they not just presenting and reflecting the 17.4 million people who voted Leave?" The Remainer replied, "No, because when people voted Leave, they voted to leave the European Union, and we are going to leave the European Union, but they didn't put on the ballot paper, and what wasn't part, what does Leave mean? One of the big problems that the European Union has is that our government still hasn't decided what Leave means. When you go into negotiations, how can the EU deal with a government that hasn't itself worked out what it wants?" Former Attorney General Dominic Grieve and Labour's Chris Leslie and Stephen Doughty joined Ms Soubry and Mr Umunna this week in the meeting with the Frenchman. Mr Barnier is understood to be keen to hear the views of British MPs on Brexit as well as government figures. Friday, December 8, 2017. Here is the 15-page Brexit deal in full. Earlier this week, Ms Soubry joked, "It's all sorted," was staying after meeting Mr Barnier and rejected claims she was undermining the government's official position. She said, "Both political parties have a number of backbenchers who feel differently from the front benchers. It's important that when we come and talk to people that they understand the peculiarities of British politics. Brexit has always divided and also united different groups within the two main parties. We have got to be realistic as a nation about all this. It doesn't mean we can't be ambitious, and that's what I'm concerned about, is how realistic we're being as a country. And if we're not being given the full picture by our government, that's really important." Last week, Mr Barnier met with representatives of the Leave campaign, including former UKIP MEP Stephen Woolfe, Lord Digby Jones, the former director of the CBI, Labour Leave's John Mills, and Leave means Leave's John Longworth.